Hello and welcome back to step-by-step-guitartuition.com. This is the 7th lesson in the Step 1 module, and in this lesson we're going to look at some basic fingerstyle patterns. Fingerstyle, or finger picking as it's also known, is a technique that's widely used in folk, country, jazz and classical music, but it can be adapted to any style. Fingerstyle guitarists tend to use various combinations of simple picking patterns that they've mastered over the years, and then they embellish them with more complex techniques such as slurs and bass runs. In this lesson though, we'll just look at the basic principles of fingerstyle technique. Before we move on to the exercises, let me just explain how the fingers of your picking hand will be referred to. In a musical score, each finger of your picking hand is sometimes represented by a single letter, and this is so the composer or arranger can offer suggestions for the best way to play the piece. The thumb is represented by the letter P, the index finger by the letter I, the middle finger by the letter M, the third finger by the letter A, and the fourth finger, which is rarely used, by the letter X or sometimes C. Because that can be quite hard to remember, for the following exercises I'll refer to my fingers simply as T for thumb, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Remember, you can also find that information in your lesson notes. You should practice the following exercises very slowly at first using a metronome, and then gradually speed up as you begin to feel more confident with the patterns. Let me begin by demonstrating the pattern that you're going to learn in this lesson. It goes like this. Firstly, let's concentrate on the thumb, which is represented by the letter T. As a general rule, the thumb is used to play the 3 bass strings of the guitar: the 4th string, the 5th, and the 6th. When you pluck the string, you can use either the skin of the side of your thumb for a mellow tone, or you can use your thumbnail for a louder, brighter tone. Let's begin by forming an A chord, and with the thumb of your picking hand play the 5th string, followed by the 6th string, 5th string, 6th string. And try it in time with a metronome, which I've set to 80 beats per minute for this exercise. Play the 5th string on the 1st beat of the bar, and the 6th string on the 3rd beat of the bar. And try to keep it as smooth and as even as possible. Okay, let's have a go. 2, 3, 4. 5th string, 6th, 5th, 6th. Now that you've got the hang of plucking the strings with your thumb, let's introduce the 1st, 2nd and 3rd fingers. For this exercise, I'm going to use finger 1 to play the 3rd string, finger 2 to play the 2nd string, and finger 3 to play the 1st string. So if you put those 3 fingers together and position them on the top 3 strings as I explained, and just try to pluck all 3 of them together with a claw-like motion, like this. Okay, once you feel comfortable with that, try combining it with the thumb technique that we did in the previous exercise. So play the 5th string with your thumb, and then the top 3 strings together with your fingers. And then the 6th string with your thumb, and the top 3 fingers together again. 5th string with your thumb, fingers, 6th string, fingers, thumb, fingers, thumb, fingers. Now let's try that with the metronome. So it's thumb on the 1st beat, fingers on the 2nd beat. thumb on the third beat, fingers on the fourth beat. Let's try that with the metronome. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumb, fingers, thumb, finger, thumb, fingers, thumb, fingers. Now let's try the same exercise using a D chord. The first, second and third fingers will remain unchanged on the top 3 strings, but this time your thumb plays the 4th string on the first beat of the bar, followed by your fingers on the second beat, and the 5th string on the third beat of the bar, followed by your fingers on the 4th. That's thumb on the 4th string, fingers, thumb on the 5th string, fingers. 4th string, fingers, 5th string, fingers. So as you can see, the only thing that changes is the thumb, which plays the 4th and the 5th strings instead of the 5th and the 6th. Let's try that with the metronome, and remember this time we're playing a D chord. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumb, fingers, thumb, fingers, thumb, finger, thumb, fingers. For this last exercise, we'll try the same fingerstyle pattern using an E chord. The first, second and third fingers will remain unchanged again on the top 3 strings, but this time your thumb plays the 6th string on the first beat of the bar, followed by your fingers on the second beat, and then the 5th string on the third beat of the bar, followed by your fingers on the 4th. That's thumb on the 6th string, fingers, thumb on the 5th string, fingers, 6th string, fingers, 5th string, fingers. Now let's try that one with the metronome. And remember this time we're using an E chord. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumb, fingers, thumb, fingers. 6th string, 5th string. Now let's try putting those 3 chords together in a progression using the fingerstyle pattern that we've just looked at. Your first, second and third fingers will remain unchanged on the top 3 strings, but as you change chords, don't forget to play the correct bass strings with your thumb. Only try this if you feel comfortable playing the previous exercises. We'll start with the A chord, playing the pattern twice, then the same on D, playing the pattern twice, the same on E, twice, and then back to D twice, like this. A, then change to D, play it twice, then change to E, and then back to D. Now let's try it with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, thumb, fingers. D. E. So that was an introduction to fingerstyle guitar. Practice the previous exercises very slowly and accurately, and try not to be too concerned with speed at this point, as that will come in time. Your aim is to be able to repeat the patterns consistently without making mistakes, and don't forget to play along with a metronome to develop your timing. You can find the patterns that we've looked at today in the notes that accompany this lesson. I look forward to seeing you in lesson 8, where I'll show you how to name the open strings. I'll see you then.